Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Single Parents Podcast.
The show that is far from traditional.
If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe, share the podcast with a friend, and maybe even rate the show 5 stars on your favorite podcast hosting platform.
Here's a sneak peek for today's episode.
To be some sort of father figure for my child.
You letting hate it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you are single mom. Now you are single mom.
Hey, SPP listeners. I'm so glad that you're back because I want to talk about something very, very, very important. I know we've mentioned this thing multiple times actually on the podcast, but I feel like we never really dive super deep into it. And I really, really want to talk about how I went viral on TikTok. I got millions and millions of views and tens of thousands of comments, hundreds of shares and stitches and duets and all of those things. So it wasn't just a viral video that people weren't interacting with. There was a lot of interaction that went along with this video. So we're going to talk about that video and all that good stuff. Anthony, what's up? Are you ready?
I'm excited. Well, you alluded to it already. Like, I am excited because we have mentioned this a few times on the show before, but I, even myself, haven't really gotten the full context, or even as I was kind of going through preparing for this episode, looking back at some responses to the video that were made regarding the one that made you viral. It was just interesting reading the comments and just all the crazy stuff. Like, I was just like, wait. I've not yet to take advantage of the fact that I literally know and have access to somebody who went viral to this degree. Like, this isn't just some faceless influencer out there who a lot of people have opinions about. This is somebody I actually know. So I'm excited to pick your brain and kind of hear a little bit more about the story and see if going viral is all it's cracked up to be.
Gosh, yeah. Let's really dive deep into it, I guess. I'm like thinking about where do I even start with this story and what happened, because you're right. Like, there are people that have a face already and they go viral and stuff. And
Sure, yeah.
when you think about going viral now, I feel like it's super hard. You have to already have a following, or like, it's crazy how your views can fluctuate so much. Like, my videos, I feel like don't get nearly as many views as they used to. It's crazy how you can go viral. And because I didn't really take advantage of it, which I'm always going to, kick myself for.
Wow.
I mean, I gained like a decent bit of followers, but
Sure, yeah.
you have to really continue with the content and, all of that stuff, which I didn't. So for anybody who's listening, anytime you go viral or you get a larger amount of views, you really, really, really have to go off with it. And I'll tell you why I didn't go off with it, because I felt like I didn't go viral for the right reasons. It wasn't really what I wanted my page to be about. So let's rewind.
Okay, let's
This
do it. Let's go back.
podcast, this podcast is all about being a single parent. So
Yeah.
I really was sharing my story. I kind of just like post whatever the heck I want, because being a single parent isn't like my whole identity. But, I always hear that I am amazing at story times. I have no idea why. I just like,
I can see it.
I
can see it.
I
This has
just,
surprised me.
yeah, no, I don't know. But like, anytime I tell the story, like my cousin, but I feel like she's biased because she's my cousin. She says that she's always super fully engaged anytime
Yeah.
I tell a story. And so she was like, you need to start posting things of you like posting about your dating life, because as a single mom, you have an interesting dating life everybody has an interesting dating life, and you might think that nobody really wants to hear about it, but they actually do. They want to hear the juicy tea and all of that stuff. So
True.
I was seeing a guy and I was basically talking about how you don't give a guy a second chance. And it was because I posted this story time talking about how I went out with this guy. We were getting to know each other, and I was like, wow, I like kind of sort of maybe like him a little bit. And I found out that he was seeing other girls and sleeping
Oh,
with other girls. And
okay.
that's just not for me, honey. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not trying to be like, amidst like all these girls that you're sleeping with, because like, I just feel like that's not me. Like, you're going to want me and you're going to only want me. And if a guy wants to sleep around with a bunch of girls and talk to and date
Yeah.
a bunch of different girls, like, go ahead, do it. But it's just not for me. I'm not going to be in that pool of you dating. Some
Mhm.
people are into
Were you guys
monogamy and some people are
exclusive?
not. Okay, so we did talk about being exclusive, but here's the thing is like we didn't talk about it at first. And then when I found out that he was seeing other girls, I was like, okay, well, if you want to continue with me, like, you can't be seeing other girls,
Oh,
because
that's
I
fair.
want to establish some sort of exclusivity, because I'm a mom
Sure.
and I'm not
Right.
here to just like have some guy play me. So these are the ground rules. And he was like,
Mhm.
sure, no problem, I'll do that. And then um damn, I feel like it wasn't even 2 weeks later that I
Whoa,
found out that this guy was talking to, like, 4 other girls and, like, saying that they
Whoa.
were exclusive. And I'm
Oh.
like, "Bitch, hold the fuck up, like,
Ye
this is the craziest thing ever." And, I don't wanna give too much information on how I found
Mhm.
out, but, like, any girl
Okay.
listening to this, might know about a specific, Facebook page for just the
Mhm.
gals,
Sure.
and that's all I'm really gonna say. That's how I found out.
Fair.
And, I talked about this story on TikTok, and
Mhm.
I really played into the fact that I am a single mom and this is not what I want to do. And I feel like he wasn't going to be a good person to be with me and my son. I basically talked about how this guy was just not it. He was not going to fit
Yeah.
into the picture with my son and I and what I wanted for our future and all of those things. And I said that some other guy, actually, I don't know if I said it in the original video. Let's just say I didn't. Um, and that one went like not viral, but it
Sure.
got more views. Like I feel like it was like maybe less than 10,000 at the time,
Okay.
which like
Mhm.
is kind of a lot, but like not really.
Yeah.
Like for somebody who like posts on TikTok and they get like 200 views, like that is a lot.
Right.
But for somebody else, they might be like, wow, 10,000 views is really bad because I usually get, 500,000 views
Sure.
a video. But that's like for somebody who's established. Like I was a
Right.
nobody and I was just telling this story time and it was like a couple of minutes long. Like who was going to listen to the whole thing? So I got comments from some girls, I got some comments from some guys.
Okay.
And there was this really big comment that it just truly stuck out to me. Some guy commented saying that no man is going to want to raise another man's child. And I was like, hold the fuck up. Let me look at this guy's profile, first of all. And he had like no shit on there, like not even a picture of
Of
himself. And I'm like,
course.
okay, clearly
Of
he's probably
course.
fucking fat and ugly, right? Like that's why he
Yeah,
doesn't want to
yeah.
show himself. That's me just being
Exactly.
judgmental. But anyway, I was like, hating men, whatever. I was in that era. I was pissed off. And so you know how like on TikTok you can reply to comments and you could reply in just like words or you could reply in a video. And I was like, okay, like because I had a little bit of traction from that story time, I was like, I need to keep going, because this person is talking about being a single mom and how no guy is going to want me. And I felt like it related with the stuff that I wanted to go into. So I wanted to take something negative that I saw on my page and try and twist it into something that was positive.
Oh,
And it was
sure, yeah.
going to uh, because I really wanted my page to like be for the gals, and it could be for the girls and the gays, because
Yeah.
maybe that's what people are interested in. Like, I don't know. I just didn't want the negativity. So basically, I replied in a video to this guy's message or his comment.
This comment right here. I really don't think that he's speaking for all men, because I know that there will be somebody that steps up one day to be some sort of father figure for my child. And it's also very, like, I'm very surprised that you felt comfortable actually typing this out and commenting on someone's video. Like, it's just the wildest thing. You don't know my circumstances with my child, or his father. And yeah, that's basically it. So hopefully he's not speaking for all men out there, but this was just really disappointing to see.
And I was like, I'm really disappointed at this comment. There is going to be a man that steps up one day, and I know that that's going to happen, and his father isn't involved. And I feel like I said something along the lines of like, you don't know my situation, which he doesn't fucking know my
True.
situation.
True. Yeah.
Like, it's so wild. So, um, I was like, I can't believe that somebody felt comfortable enough to comment this on like a stranger's page. It's so weird, but everybody hides behind, you know,
Yeah. Exactly.
technology nowadays. So of course that guy felt comfortable enough to comment something freaking ridiculous on one of my dating stories. And I posted it not thinking anything of it. And this was literally, I was at work. I was
Yeah.
literally at work. I was on my lunch break, just like chilling in my car, scrolling on TikTok when I saw that. And I was like, and just right then and there, I saw the comments and I was like, I'm going to reply. And I took a video in my car. Like, it happened so fast. Like, it wasn't something that I put thought into. I just
Yeah.
saw it, replied, posted, and then closed out of the app. And that was it. And so, and that was like right before my lunch break was going to end.
Okay.
And I went into work, and at the time I had the notifications on for TikTok still, because like, you never got any views, any comments. Like, I was straight up a nobody. And I must have had like my phone like facing down on my desk. And
Okay.
at some point, maybe like 30 minutes later, I had like flipped it over and I saw that I had
Yeah.
a bunch of notifications from TikTok, and I was like, "Oh my god, am I going viral? I'm so excited." And
Oh man.
I pulled open TikTok, saw that I had a bunch of views and comments already, and like I was like, "Damn, like this is happening like really fast." Like, people don't really talk about how going viral, like you're like, "Oh, like over time I can get
Oh
a
sure.
large amount of views." Like, I'm not even shitting you. I would have my phone and I would refresh it, 100 more views, refresh it a second later,
Wow.
200 more views, refresh it, 1,000 more views. Like, it was just insane.
Crazy.
And then you wait like 5 minutes to refresh it, and then it's like
Yeah.
you have like 50,000 more views. Like, it was just, it was crazy. Like, the views
Jeez.
were going up so fast and the comments were going so fast that I like couldn't even keep up with all the comments. But
Yeah.
I noticed that the comments were all fucking negative. And I'm like, what the hell? This is not what I intended to happen. First of all, I was like really fucking excited because I don't really get my feelings hurt easily.
Oh god.
And I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I'm famous. I'm famous. I'm famous. This is it. I'm quitting my motherfucking job. I'm going to start getting brand deals, like all that stuff.
Let's
Like,
go. Let's
and I
go.
was like in the office with my brother, and I started being like, oh my God, Nick, like I'm literally going viral right now on TikTok. Like, and he's like, what did you get, like 300 views? I'm like, no, I'm literally at like 50,000 right now.
Wow.
And
You're
he's
like,
like,
here,
oh
consider
shit.
this my 2-week notice. You better start
Yeah,
preparing
yeah.
somebody because I'm off to Hollywood now. I'm in the big times.
Yeah,
Bye.
literally. And it was so funny because, you know, it's like super chill at work
Yeah.
when it's
Mhm.
not in busy season or peak
Sure.
season. And I started reading off some of these comments to my brothers, and they thought they were hilarious. We all
Really?
just like thought they were so funny because they were just so ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
all these people commenting, not all these people, all these
Yeah.
men commenting
Yeah.
saying like he speaks for me, he speaks for me, he's
I
now
saw
you a
that. Yeah,
single
yeah,
mom, like
yeah.
now you a single mom, nobody wants you, like
Yeah.
oh God, what I feel like they talked about like sloppy seconds, like all this stuff. Like, no
Yeah.
man wanted me. And that I think somebody commented, like, I bet she didn't expect like her comment section to go this way. And I'll tell you what, whoever commented that, I don't remember your name, but you motherfucking right. I was not expecting that. Cause I just like did it out on a whim and I
Gee.
thought like it
Yeah,
probably wasn't gonna
exactly.
get any views either. I was like, okay, like 1,000 views to me replying to this comment, woo wee. And then, two 2 million views later. And I had people
Crazy.
stitching it and like all this stuff. And like my brothers were like, you can't let this get to you. And I'm like, it's
Yeah.
not. Like I know
Okay.
that these are losers and I know that these are men,
Mhm.
mostly men
Mhm.
who
Yep.
would, stay in their parents' basement and freaking
Mhm.
fap all
Mhm.
day because they don't have a job.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
and for anybody who doesn't know what fap and what that means,
I think the
just
kids call
look it
it
up.
gooning these days.
Gooning?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they refer to it as, gooning.
Wait, that's actually crazy. I didn't even know what it meant to like fap until no, my brothers taught me those things. Like I feel like that's not a normal
Oh,
thing for a
yeah.
girl to know. Like if I
That's
said like
true. Yeah. That's yeah.
so, but any girl like listening or somebody who doesn't know what that means, I'm sure you can guess what it means
Yeah.
to fap or
Context clues.
like,
Just use context
yeah,
clues. You can figure it
a
out.
guy, like an old guy, like door dashing every single day, has no money, living in his mom's basement, and he's just
Yeah.
fapping all day long
Mhm,
because he has nothing
mhm.
better to do. And
Yep.
so, yeah, and I like loved looking at the people that would stitch. And there's just like, there were so many. So I could only look at a few. But I'm
Oh,
like,
sure, sure, sure,
damn,
sure.
these motherfuckers look like losers. Why would they think they ever have a chance with me
Yeah.
anyway? That's what was so funny. Like,
True.
it's hilarious. So that's how I went viral on TikTok. Honestly, um, there's no rhyme or reason to going viral on TikTok. I feel like you never really expect it. Like you can post the dumbest shit and it could go viral. Like I feel like there are things that I work so hard on, but like
Yes.
me just talking to the camera, like getting people engaged with my story time or whatever it is, like that is what people wanted to
Mhm.
see. I don't know. And I was expecting to like end up on the other side of TikTok where people are like, yeah, like you're definitely going to find a man one day. But I was on
Exact
the whole opposite side. TikTok pushed that shit out to the wrong people. But hey, I still went viral. I eventually took the video down off my
Okay.
page.
Okay.
And I still had people like commenting on my other videos being like, where's the single mom video? Where's the single mom video? Um, so like I think when I took it off my page, it was probably at 2.3 million views.
Okay.
And I
Gotcha.
honestly think it probably could have gotten way more. I feel like I could have like doubled, maybe tripled that amount. But I was already
Mhm.
being made into like a meme. I had people from high school reaching out to me, guys from high school, being like, I saw this on Twitter because it's like people making fun of me.
Twitter?
Like
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
I
You
I
crossed
was
over. You crossed platforms. That's
yeah,
huge.
no, Twitter and Instagram. Like I was
Whoa.
a meme of like me being a
Wow.
single mom with that "Now You a Single Mom" song
Yeah,
in the
yeah, 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 yeah,
background.
yeah.
I really don't think that he's speaking for all men.
Let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom.
What's crazy about that whole thing is so like obviously when we first started talking last summer, we're talking about who we are and stuff that's happened to us. And that's not one of the first things. Like, she wasn't like, oh, hi, my name's Jess. By the way, I went viral on TikTok. But as we were talking, Jess brought it up to me. And so I don't know why, I just never like thought to be like, oh, she told me she went viral. Let me just go see if I can find the video she's talking about. I just never did until we started talking about this episode idea. Then was like, "Hey, yeah, like, let me see the video so we can talk about it and share it in the podcast or whatever." So today, the day of recording this video was the first day that I saw the big viral video, and so I watched it and I was just like, "Oh, like no offense, but I was just like, oh, like that was." I see millions of videos like that, like
Yeah,
literally.
you're
I
like,
mean,
"That's it?"
that was it. Like, I mean, you guys, the podcast listeners, by now you have seen the video or heard the video yourself. But I was just like, that, because in my head this whole time since last summer when you told me that, I thought it was like a juicy story time video, because those easy goes viral. Like, those are golden ticket for going viral. Like, there's been series made out of people sharing their bad dating stories and stuff like that. So maybe that's what I thought, but I didn't think the hot viral video was a comment response video where, in my opinion, you didn't even say anything crazy or offensive. All you said was, and again, you guys have heard it for yourself by now, but all she said in the video was, I'm going to find somebody one day who loves me and my son. That's basically it. Like, that's it. And for some reason, that's what triggered so many grandmas, basement dwelling dweebs. Like, that's crazy to me. So anyways, that's just my first reaction. I'll let you finish sharing the story, but my first reaction was just like, that was it. That's all it took to trigger all those incels. So anyways, like, yeah, I want to keep going, but I just had to share that because I was just like, that wasn't that crazy. That wasn't I don't know.
No, I mean, you're so right. I feel like there isn't even much of anything else to the story because you are literally so right. I just did this one thing out
Yeah,
on a whim. It wasn't like I was, well, in my mind, I thought it was something that like wasn't super controversial, but
exactly. Yeah.
apparently it was
Like, you
controversial.
weren't like bashing, like a couple episodes ago. If you guys have been subscribed, you will have seen a few episodes ago we responded to a TikTok video that had some pretty harsh, intense words for men. Again, most of the time deservingly so, but we kind of broke down our thoughts. But your video wasn't even attacking men. It wasn't even really attacking the guy who commented it. Like, you didn't say anything about him. All you said was like, hey, I disagree. I'm going to find somebody one day who loves me and my son. And then you said a couple other things, but that was it. So, like, I don't understand why that upset so many dudes. I have a theory. I'll share it with you really quick. See what you think. I think something that you have alluded to already is the fact that a lot of these dudes um aren't exactly the most, what is the word, desirable, I guess you could
I was
say.
just gonna say that desirable,
Desirable is the
fitting,
word. I'll just
fitting to be a
fitting,
boyfriend or a
like,
husband.
attractive. So a lot of these dudes don't have the ability to pull girls on their own, because I went through and I watched some of the stitches to these videos, and we'll talk more about some specific ones in a minute. But there's a theme of like some, like you had already said this, Jess, but like some dudes who really couldn't realistically ever land a girl like you out in the wild at the bar. Like, you would never most likely give them the time of day, just going by physical appearance wise. I know we're being a little shallow, but it's true. um
It's tea. It's facts, okay?
like, it's
I
just
feel
it's
like
just like it's
never
just the
it's
reality. You're
factual.
out of
Just
their
don't
league.
even apologize.
Okay, I want to, yeah, you're way out of their league, like, which they just have to accept that. But for some reason, they felt the need to speak as if, like, yeah, she could never get me. I would never choose her. I never want to be her. And you're probably just like, well, I would never choose you anyway. So I don't even know why you're even feeling the need to comment that. But my point is, my theory
Exactly.
is, it gives them like a little weird sense of like power,
I'm rejecting
this
her.
toxic. masculinity thing, exactly, to where like I can reject this woman who in most cases she would never choose me to begin with, but in this instance I'll be the one to say actually no thanks but no thanks.
I feel like you're right. Like, never has anybody put it in that perspective. When I have thought about it, I think about how, like, those people are literally just losers and couldn't get a girl anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But for you to put it in a different direction and say, like, they want to reject you before you reject
Yes.
them, like, none of
Yeah.
those guys would ever get a chance with me. Like, they would never. I looked at those stitches and I'm like, why? I don't understand. Like, you think that this is supposed
Yeah.
to impress me? And then here's the other thing. The guys that did stitch it and they were in support, there were some that I was like, I wonder if they're making this stitch because they want me to see it and they want me to be like, yes, I want to be with you. Sometimes I thought that
Oh,
that could have been
yeah.
it.
I really don't think that he's speaking for all men.
No, he doesn't speak for all men, and I've seen a lot of horrible videos and a lot of horrible comments that are just being celebrated by a lot of idiots, and I felt it was time for an adult to chime in here. Now, while it's true I have told a lot of young men not to pursue a relationship with a single mother, I'm old enough to understand that you cannot control who you fall in love with in life sometimes. Now, I dated a lot of single mothers and failed in those relationships, and that's perfectly fine, but I've seen a lot of guys who have. And those families are now prospering. And what people aren't talking about, which pisses me off with all these videos that are insulting your situation and mocking you, and there's this new trend making fun of single mothers and celebrating women who are crying in their cars. If you're doing that, you're fucking heartless, because what people are forgetting is a kid. The men that I know who succeeded in those families, those young boys, those kids who could have grown up in one way, are now responsible young men doing amazing. And they got amazing character because they had an amazing role model. So, in other words, everyone's situation's different. It's not what you hear like on these fucking podcasts. And I know for a fact a lot of these guys who are saying these horrible things have limited life experience, because a lot of the single mothers I dated, granted, their relationships didn't work out. These women had to grow up fast and be responsible and take care of a kid, and that meant they had great careers and they had a home and they had their shit together, unlike some of these guys. So to answer your question, no, these faceless avatars do not represent all men. The good men who are willing to take this mantle, they're very few and far between, but that's what makes them extra special. They're tough to find. So you're going to be 100% fine, I assure you. You're beautiful, you're going to be fine.
Yes.
But they just, let's just say they were not my type,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah.
This fish will swim in a different direction. But I will say that the difference between some of the people who didn't agree and made stitches and wanted to bitch about how, like, they didn't want me, versus the ones that were like, you're gonna find someone someday, and was with a single mom, and now we have like kids together and I love them like they're my own, like all of
Sure.
those things.
Right.
The people who disagreed were like these guys who like couldn't fucking shave their beards, like had
Yeah.
gray in their beards, like overweight, like they just
Yeah.
and had shitty quality like camera,
Oh,
phone,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that was
Some of them
something
are
that I
bad.
noticed too. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so clearly you can't afford an iPhone. Like, just say it.
Right.
Just say it. Like, whatever. You're an Android user, loser. Um
Mhm.
and then the ones who did agree, who were like,
Yeah.
yes, you will find someone. This is my story. And I was with a single mom and all that stuff. Those men were well put together. Like, they had their hair like combed. They had like a nice shirt on. Or like they just looked more well put together, and they were more well spoken about what they wanted to
Yes.
say, because I feel like some of the people that stitch it, like, just, I don't know how else to say it, but they seemed uneducated and illiterate,
Sure.
I
Right.
guess is what I would say.
Yeah.
And the people who agreed, the men were, they spoke better. They could talk about their opinion much, much better. And I will say, there were some females that
Okay.
also had something to say about it. I will say,
Okay.
like, 85, 90% of the women that engaged with it, making stitches, duets, comments,
Mhm.
said, I'm a single mom and I found someone, you're gonna find someone, like, don't let these, like, comments are atrocious, like, don't let it get you
Yeah.
down because you will find someone. But I was shocked to see that a few women were being like, "You have to know that you aren't desirable as a single mom anymore," and all this stuff, and I'm like, "Okay, so this girl is clearly not a girl's girl, fucking loser, hate you already."
Right, right.
I'm going in right now. I feel so passionate
Good.
about this.
Go for it, go
It's
for it.
it's so funny because in the original video with me talking, I'm so just like somewhat monotone, like
You are, yeah,
because like
yeah.
you were saying the other girl when she was like attacking men and all this thing, like
Yep,
she had so much passion
she did,
behind
yeah.
everything that she was saying. Like she was super emotional and pretty aggressive with what she was
Exactly.
trying to convey, and I was just super chill, monotone because I feel like I was super nonchalant about it. Like I didn't even think that anybody would see it anyway. I was just kind of sharing my story and how I felt. Um and so these girls that were like, you're not as desirable, like you have to understand that like guys aren't going to want you, and I'm like, bitch, you don't even know me. Like of course I know that.
Those are called pick-me's. Those are pick-me's.
Yes. Wait, you're
So
actually so
true.
right. Those
She's
are the
like,
pick me girls. Like,
those
do
are
you
the
think I
pick-me
don't know
girls.
that?
Yeah, like, hey guys, watch me tell off this girl. She's not desirable. Ha ha, guys, look at me. But I don't have kids. In case you guys want to date me, please pick
Wait,
me,
that's
choose
so
me.
it's so funny because it's so true. They are
Oh my
like,
god.
yeah, I don't have kids. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I guess I never really even thought of it that way. Like, I thought it was just like girls that were like, they just like didn't even know. I mean, they knew what they were saying because I agree. Like, obviously, I know that like it gets rid of probably
sure.
75% of the male population. I don't really know
Right.
how much, but like it would be a large amount. And I
Hmm.
feel fucking amazing about it. I feel
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
75% of the male population, the losers, they're gone. They're gone and out the door already. And I feel amazing about it. But like, I am educated and I'm not, let's just say I'm not the brightest crayon in the crayon box. Like, I'm not like a brown or a gray, but I'm also not like a yellow and orange. Like I would say
sure.
like maybe
Gotcha.
a green, somewhere
That's
like
fair. Green's nice.
cute
That's a
in
good
the
color.
middle. Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. My eyes, green.
Oh, there you go. And it's March. March is the month for green, so we like to see it.
Okay, St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, I guess it's just on my mind, but I feel like I'm not trying to say that that's not the case.
Right, right.
Obviously, I know that guys like don't want me because I'm a single mom,
Exactly.
and I was young at the time. This was in 2024, so 2 years ago.
Right.
I think this was before my birthday, so like I had to have been like 26. Yeah. I think I was probably like 26 when I made this video, and yeah, like, young and naive, but I wasn't naive. Like, I was young and educated, and I knew that guys weren't really gonna want me, but I just
Sure.
still can't
But that's the
believe that
thing is
that's
that in the video, you didn't say all single moms are gonna find somebody. All single moms deserves to find somebody. You just made
right.
it personal. Like one day, I, Jess, will find somebody who loves me and my son. That was it. So like for them to make it this whole, for you to become the face of single motherhood in general, and all these men do all these things and say all these things and make all these means. All you were talking about was for yourself. So like to your point, like you didn't say like every guy in the world should want me and forget about the fact that I'm a single. All you said was somebody's gonna love me. So really all it takes is like one guy, even if 99% of the men out there say no, that doesn't really matter because if one says yes, then what you said in the video came true. So that's why I go back to my original point. It's crazy that that's the context for this because it just seems like people took what you said and got offended about the fact that you said one day somebody's gonna love me. Like why did that piss off so many people? I don't understand. That's
It's
all you
so
said.
weird. How is
All
what
you
I'm
said is
doing
one
with
day
my life
somebody's gonna love
affecting
me.
you?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Like I don't understand. And then it just turned into this big like narrative about guys, like you said, saying like we don't want to date with single moms. They're not so desirable. They're this, they're that. They're all these blanket statements that I told you and the audience on the show before that I just hate when people just make one generalized statement about one group of people. Like I just saw a whole lot of that. Actually, in response to one comment I saw, I wanted to get your opinion on this because I
All
never
right, let's go.
actually
I'm so
heard
ready.
this. So I was like, I'm gonna well, I'll share the video of the guy I'm referencing now, and then you guys can listen to him, and then I'll ask Jess my question.
These women, sometimes they don't be knowing what the fuck they be saying. I'm gonna start out by saying it's the most common phrase used by women with children who don't have a dad or dad left the picture is they're not your kids. It doesn't matter what you do for them. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll wait.
He basically was saying this is why you don't get with a single mom, because if they have a kid, eventually they're going to say, eventually, could be day one, could be day 100, eventually they're going to say something like, they're not your kids. It doesn't matter what you do for them. Basically referring to the fact that you are going to try to want, as a dude, are going to want to like step in and have some authority or try to exercise some sort of parenting role. And then the mom's going to look at you and say, stop talking to little Timmy like that. You're not his father. You don't get to discipline him. You don't get to tell him no, blah, 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 blah. So the guy's point was, hey, don't even bother because you're not going to be able to do anything anyways. And he said like that's how it is for all single moms. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on that, because we never really talked about that before. Maybe this is a bigger conversation for a whole nother episode, but what are your, I saw that I got a couple of videos, some guys talking about this is why you don't date single moms, because they're not going to let you do anything to that kid because you're not the dad.
Yeah, there were actually a lot of comments and a lot of stitches that talked about how they did it. Like they talked about their personal experience about how like they're going to take
Mhm.
your money, they're going to expect you to do all of these things, but you're not allowed to discipline or parent the
Exactly.
child.
Right. Right.
And for me, I would say I'm sorry for that experience because in my opinion, if a single mom is going to act like that, then she's not ready to date. She's just not. She's not ready for somebody to come in and be a father figure to their child or her child if they're not allowed to discipline, reprimand. Like, you can't have a parent, a father, a mother, whatever, come into the picture and they are just there for the fun stuff, the,
Sure.
helping with finances, taking us on vacations, helping us with rent or the mortgage or whatever it is, or buying the gifts and helping with groceries. Like, you don't get all of the nice stuff. That's not how any relationship, any marriage, anything like that, that's not how it works. Like, you have to do it together. So if you're expecting
Yeah.
somebody to be a father figure or vice versa, a mother figure to your child, you have to be ready to make tough decisions like that.
Yeah.
How much are we going to pay for daycare?
Mhm.
Do we want a nanny? Are we gonna, I mean, like, I know this is also a super controversial thing, but like, are we spanking our children? Are we
Uh,
doing, um, are we letting them use technology and having screen time? Are they going to be able to watch TV? Are they going to be allowed to sleep over at another person's house? Like, all of those things. Like, are we going to teach them a second language? Like, I mean, like, I am a psychopath, so I think about all of those things, but those are
yeah.
decisions that you need to make with a partner. So if the father figure is coming in, you have to make all those decisions together. But I will say that the person who's stepping in to be the mother figure, father figure, whatever it is, the partner, they have to be ready to like be a parent right away. So
Mhm.
it's not for everyone, and they have to be ready for that. So for me, if a guy is saying all those things, clearly that single mom was just not ready for a relationship and not ready to co parent or be with someone, you know? And it also goes back
Right.
to that other video that we discussed where it was like, well, why did she leave you? Why are you a single dad? What did you do
Right.
wrong? I mean, maybe that girl is a single mom because she wasn't good at working together with her previous partner or,
True.
whatever. And so now
Yeah.
she's struggling to do that same thing in her next relationship because she never did her self healing or therapy or whatever she needed to do to improve herself. So to
Yep.
me, it just means she's not ready to parent with someone, the hard
Right.
parts of parenting. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. I just that video rather and his comments in that video confused me because I don't understand why it has to go from 0 to 100 like that, to where you meet somebody, you want to date, maybe you went on a date, you're talking, and then boom, now you're involved, you're a stepdad and you're doing the discipline and blah blah blah, and then you guys are getting into fights. Like, no, there's stuff that happens in between going on a first
Progression.
date and then being with that person around your kid and then having a parental role. Like, isn't that in my head? I didn't make sense because, like, that's what communication is for, right? Like, that's what dating is for, and taking things slow and, like you said, making progress. So in my head, it should be, you have your first few dates, maybe you don't bring the kid around or whatever. Like, again, maybe that's a conversation for another video, but you're making progress. And then it gets to the point where, okay, I think so and so is ready to start coming around little Timmy. And then you have conversations about, okay, like, as you're getting to know Timmy, this is kind of how our home dynamic works. This is Timmy's past. This is how I tend to parent and discipline and do all these things. And then if the person continues to come around and now it's like a regular part of little Timmy's life, then ideally in my head, maybe I'm being naive, you have conversations about, like, okay, so like you're obviously a big part of Timmy's life. Either like we're in a serious committed relationship or we're getting married or whatever it is. So you're in it for the long haul. So let's talk about what this looks like as you being a parental figure in Timmy's life. Is Timmy's biological dad around? Do I have a co-parenting situation? Then it probably is going to look a little different because Timmy's dad is present. So you can't come in and take the title of dad and be dad, and it's just going to look, but we'll talk through, okay, what is those boundaries and what does your role look like? Or is Timmy's dad nowhere in the picture, hasn't been around for years? Okay, so what does it look like for you to come in and keep getting close to Timmy? And what if he wants to call you dad? What does that look like? How do we handle it? What does discipline look like? So in my head, I just don't understand that question because, or that point rather, because you should be talking about all that stuff throughout the journey. So like when that stuff does come up and mom's boyfriend or stepdad is in a situation where little Timmy does need some discipline, you would have already kind of navigated those waters. And so if stepdad puts Timmy in timeout, the mom shouldn't, in my opinion, shouldn't come out and be like, "What did you do that for? You're not his dad. Why did you put him in timeout?" But you've had those conversations, and so you work through that together. Again, maybe I'm naive, but I didn't really understand why you wouldn't talk through all that stuff already.
I mean, I'll just go back to the point that I said before. They're just uneducated.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's coming full circle. I mean, like they're literally just uneducated. They had one experience and they based it off of that one
Yeah.
experience with that.
Yep.
I don't want to put women down, but like that that pain in the arse of a single mom. She just has more growing to do. I guess that's what I'll say. That's my
Yeah. I
follow-up, is
could
she
see
just
that.
has
I could see
more
that.
growing to do as a single mom and within herself and parenting and all those things, and that's why they had such a bad experience, but that's not always gonna be
Yeah.
the case with
Exactly.
everyone, and I know we talked about this point before where it's like, you put a blanket statement over everybody, like, you can't you can't just, like, put it to that, like, one person, like, you say, like, "Alright, well, I hate all of these people because I had this one bad experience." So,
All right.
I feel like that's probably what happened with a lot of the people that were responding and saying, like, "He speaks for me. I would never date a
True.
single mom. I don't want you."
Right. Yeah, and I think like a big blanket statement that I saw a lot with that was the comment, something to the effect of like, single moms just aren't desirable.
Mhm.
And I think that again, like caveat this with the context of like I'm all for like having a preference. We talked about this a million times on the show. If your preference is not dating somebody with a kid, that's totally fine. No harm, no foul. But to say that all single moms aren't desirable is kind of crazy because there's a lot of women who are desirable, beautiful, educated, strong women who just happen to have a kid. So you're telling okay, so let me just speak to these dudes really quick.
Okay. Ooh, yeah.
I'm calling crap. I'm calling crap. I'm all right. I'm gonna stop being so politically correct in my answers right now. Bro, you're telling me that if you saw a 10 out of 10 baddie, I'm talking smoking drool and your jaw's on the ground and she has a business and she's been to school and she's doing all these things and she's actually talking to you and she's interested and you're like, oh my gosh, like this woman 10 out of 10 no notes, and then you find out, oh, she has a kid. You're telling me you're gonna curve that 10 out of 10 and say she's not
Exactly.
desirable? Like we're talking like Megan Fox, Margot Robbie looking status. Like you're gonna tell them, nope, sorry, you're not desirable because you have it. No, no, no. Especially some of these guys we've seen in these videos. You would be like, oh, okay, no, it's fine. Like I'll go buy the fruit snacks. Like when's movie night with little
Right.
Timmy? Like you and
Yeah.
like, no, I don't wanna even to like I have a theory that even with you, Jess, not saying that you're not Megan Fox, Robbie status. I think I would put you up there. You're up there. You're up there. But I would say if the guy if those guys who wrote that and on your TikTok comment section actually got a chance to talk to you in real life and you were like, "Hey, I'm Jess. I'm interested in you." I think a lot of them would cave. I don't think all of them would be
Yeah,
so, "Nope,
exactly.
sorry, I don't date people with kids." I think if some of those guys had somebody who looked like you come up and talk to them, I think their boundaries would fold pretty quick. So I'm calling BS on that. So that's my point. It's
No,
like,
that's so true.
hey, all single moms aren't desirable. Maybe there's women who aren't desirable to you and just happen to be single moms, or maybe your preference is just not dating people with kids. But to say all single moms are undesirable, I call BS on that. I don't believe these guys when they say that.
Yeah, no, that's so true. I think about, like, if I actually talked to them in real life and I
Yeah,
had a conversation with them and they're like,
yeah,
"Damn, like, this girl's
yeah,
hot and she,
yep.
is, like, really cool," I'm
Yeah, I
in.
think I don't know. Yeah, I would call their bluff. Like that would actually be an interesting. I don't know how we do that. That would be such an interesting video. Is to like find somebody who talks all that junk on TikTok or Instagram or Twitter, and then approach them in real life, like undercover camera type style, and just watch them like cave and see like how quick they turn, or not even just that, like they're so opinionated and loud on TikTok stitches or in the comment sections, but in real life they wouldn't even know what to do if a woman like you stood in front of them. They would crap their pants. So I don't
Yeah, no, exactly.
know.
I mean, that's exactly how I feel,
Yeah.
honestly, so
I don't know, but I guess a couple of things going back to the whole going viral part. So I think that's pretty interesting because me included, there's few of us who've ever experienced going viral. So I have a couple of questions with that. One, I think you kind of mentioned this, it didn't, but reading all those comments of people saying, especially the negative ones, that never like got to you at all, like emotionally, like that never got you down.
I feel like it got me down for maybe, like, 30 seconds. Because
Wow.
I know it's
Okay.
not true, like, I feel like I knew that it wasn't true, and this was actually something that I talked about. I mean, my brothers encouraged me, and they said, "Don't let this, like, bother you," but I
Right.
also
Yeah.
talked to my cousin about it, and she
Okay.
was like, "I don't know how you dealt with that, and you were totally fine with it," because she can get one hate comment on a
Yeah.
video, and she is off the rails, like ranting about it. Because so my cousin is a PA, she's a dermatology PA, and she
Oh,
posts
nice.
like educational videos and stuff.
Mhm.
And so
Fair.
somebody basically commented on one of her videos, like saying, like, you don't do that, like criticizing like what she decided to do
Oh,
for one of her patients.
okay.
And she was like, "What are you talking about? Like, I literally am so educated. Like, my patient, like, everything healed fine, like, all this stuff. Like," and she's like, "Who is this stupid person that, like, commented that? Like, clearly they
Right.
just," and so she just, like, she went off the rail. Like, she's like, "I'm so educated. Like, how could they be criticizing?" And I'm like, I mean, that's just what they do. Like, everybody wants to hate.
True.
So if
Yeah.
you post on social media, you have to be ready for hate. And like, you really just have to brush it off. So that was something that I dealt with really, really well. And I know like people will be like, well, then why did you take down the video? And the reason I took down the video was because I
Okay.
was sick and tired of seeing the negativity. Like, I was like,
Interesting.
this is not what I want my page to be about. Like, I didn't want to be the girl that went viral for like being made fun of for being a single mom. I want to go viral for being like, oh my God, she did this really cool like
Right.
makeup tutorial, or like she
Yeah.
shared her story about being a single mom and now she's this single mom who has this great successful story, and I want to be just like that, or like
Nice.
help people who are going through the single life or whatever it may be. Or maybe I'm just there for entertainment, like just for being funny and like, I don't know, just being fucking cool because that's what I am.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, like I guess it like affected me for like a whole 30 seconds where I was like, damn. But then I just like I snapped myself out of it because I literally know that it's not true. And I feel like I used to say this a lot. I don't know if this was like when we first met or if this was like maybe the first or second episode, or I don't know. Like I feel like I've definitely said this before on the podcast. I don't really know when it was, but I just think about how like I'm better than them. So
Yeah.
I know
Exactly.
it's like it's so awful to say that,
Exactly.
but anybody
It's
who
true.
feels down about like, I mean, because like, let's get this straight. Like, some of that can be considered cyberbullying if you want to
Right.
put it
Yeah.
into that type of category. So, like, you're going to be cyberbullied like all the time. Like, I literally, okay, wait, this is also insane. I got DMs from people like saying that I should off myself. Like,
See, that's
I got
that's
like I got
ridiculous.
crazy,
That is
crazy, crazy
so
messages. Yeah,
crazy.
like people would literally tell me messages like that. And hopefully, like that doesn't have to get like cut out of the podcast and me saying that. But people would legit send me messages to do that to myself. And those people are cyber bullies, and like I am better than you, I'm better than you, like that's just how
Seriously.
what I think. Like if you have no life and you, because I think about myself commenting on something that I feel so inclined to comment on, it's never going to be like a bullying type thing. Like me as a
Right, right.
genuine person, I would never do that. Like who, like I don't even understand how people feel comfortable just doing that on a random stranger's thing. Like I comment to be like, haha, this is so cute. Like, oh my God, I love your
Yeah.
hair. Like whatever. Like, okay,
Right.
slay. Like this is, iconic or whatever. But I never want to like comment something bad or hateful. Like I just scroll past it if I don't like it. Like it's weird to want to comment all these bad things. So I think about how if you want to do those things and I don't, I'm just better than you. And that's
That's
it.
right.
So if you have
Clock that,
nothing
clock
to
that.
nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's what Barbie
Right.
Jean taught me. So
Yeah, we love Barbie Jean. We
yeah.
love it. Actually, so it's interesting you say that because this, for me, was kind of a humbling experience, even like a little learning experience, uh, going through watching some of the stitches and going through reading some of the comments about your video, because for the negative ones, like I was getting defensive because obviously like I know you and I care about you. So like it's funny because this was from like you had said like 2024. So there's some
Hmm.
like mean comments obviously from the stitches that are talking about you. And I wanted to like go and like start calling these guys out and saying all these things. And I'm like, bro, that was like what, 2 years ago. Like, they probably didn't even think about this comment that they wrote probably like 5 minutes after they posted it. They say something crazy and hurtful, and then they just kind of forget about it. But I was
Right.
just like, but what was the humbling part was thinking through the fact that I'm responding and getting that type of reaction and getting these type of emotions about reading this and seeing this because I know you and because I know that you're like an actual person. So for me, when I'm scrolling through social media and I see people clowning on somebody for, I don't know, it could be something else, not about like being a single parent, but you're on TikTok, people are stitching and debating and having these type of responses to all sorts of stuff and calling people out and making fun of people and doing these parodies about people. And I just, you look at it and I kind of laugh and keep scrolling or whatever. Or maybe there's times in the past where I've joined in, not so much bullying. I never did the bullying thing, but like I'll like add to like a joke or something that somebody made about somebody's misfortune or something like that. And I'll be like, I need to remember that these are like still real people with like real feelings. And just because I don't know them the way that I personally know Jess doesn't mean that these people on my screen still don't have feelings and don't have emotions. They don't need this. And so maybe this one video that I see as I'm scrolling for 5 minutes on my phone, you just get a snapshot of like these people, and maybe to your experience, they don't even intend for their video to be taken in the way that it's being taken. So for me to slow down and remember, like, hey, these are real people. Like, so before you like a mean comment or add into a joke or do something crazy, like, just remember that, like, these are real people. So like that was a humbling experience. It kind of reminded me that, because you just feel so desensitized to it because you are scrolling and you see hundreds of people on your phone, and it's just like, oh, this is just like a character on my screen, but they're not characters or NPCs, as you and I were talking before the show. Like, they're real people with real feelings. So anyways, that was just my big takeaway from this, was like, just be careful what you say and what you do online and how you respond to people, because there are unfortunately sad stories of people who have experienced bullying to the degree you have and have taken their own life because of it. So you're a strong woman, Jess, who's able to brush that off, but there's a lot of people who it brought them to like a really dark place, and we kind of just laugh about it, and we just continue to scroll, not knowing that somebody's life has just been ruined forever. So, not to sorry for making it ending all heavy and doom and gloom at the end of this episode, but I don't know, like I said, that was just a real reality that I had to think through.
I mean, that's so true though. Like, you never really know what somebody's really going through. So just be easy. Like, just
Yeah.
be easy on people. And I guess, like, my closing thoughts,
Hmm.
one, the be easy on people. You don't have to hate on people on social media
Right.
unless you're a fucking loser, then so be it. And I just think that you're a fucking loser.
True. True.
And my other thing is that if you want to post on social media, I know, like, we talked about, like, like, how you're gonna go viral and what you're gonna do, but, like, the reality is that you really don't even know when you're gonna go viral. So just
Yeah, right.
post whatever you want, but post it under the pretense that, like, this could go viral. I could get hate for this, because you just never know. I never would have thought that a video as simple as that was going to go viral, let alone get millions and millions of views and tens of thousands of hate comments. Like,
Yeah.
I mostly just got a bunch of hate. So if you decide that you want to post something, it could randomly go viral, and you could also
Hmm.
get hate for things. So just be careful. Um, I mean, be strong. Think about how everybody else is a loser. One, if they're going to say some stupid shit on your social media, and two, you're better than them. That's just like my
Right.
advice. So if you go viral and you come back to this video, just remember that they're fucking losers, and they could never be you. Like, you're just
They
better
can
than
never
them.
do it.
So,
They can never
yeah.
do
So
it. Yep.
that's how I feel, and that's the time that I went viral on TikTok, you guys.
We love it. That's a great story. Thank you for taking us on that journey down memory lane.
Yeah, oh god,
It's
memory
nice
lane.
to it's just like I said, it's so funny to learn the context about the fact that you did go viral because it's just funny, and it's just funny how, like, literally, I'll say it again, you literally got death threats for all you said was, "One day somebody's gonna love me and my son," and you got death threats for that. That is
I know, it's insane.
crazy.
It's insane. I can't, I can't.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. We talked a lot about social media on this episode. So if you're scrolling through and you want some good, wholesome content to follow on social media, don't forget to follow us, the Single Parents Podcast, on all of the platforms. I had to think about that. Yeah, we're everywhere. We're everywhere. So share. We're just gonna lift you up. If we see one of your videos, usually we just talk about how much of a baddie you are if you're a single mom or something like that. If you're a single dad doing the right things, we love to see it. So we'll hype you up. But in the meantime, I think that's gonna do it. I think next week we have a beloved guest coming back on the show if
Yay!
schedules align. So we'll and then do you want to share where what's coming up for you, your personal stuff coming up that's kind of fun, exciting, or do you want to keep it a
You
surprise?
guys, I'm going to Florida.
Yay!
I'm going to Florida, and I can't wait because I just feel so alive and carefree when I'm in Florida. So I plan on eating lots and lots of nachos, lots of fish, daiquiris, girl. Those are gonna be
God.
slurped. I'm finna be on a beach. I'm gonna be
Mm.
on be in an itty bitty bikini.
Ooh, okay. See,
I can't
I
wait.
get my point. You pull up in a bikini, those incels who commented, you telling me they're not gonna fold? Don't believe it.
Right,
I
exactly,
don't believe it.
exactly. They can
I'm
fuck
not buying what you're
off.
selling. Nice. Well, we'll have to get updates. We'll have to see if maybe scheduling aligns. Maybe we can do a little check-in with you on the beach or in Florida or something like
Wait,
that. We'll figure
yes,
it out.
yes,
That would be
yes. We
fun.
will, we
That would
will.
be
That would
fun.
be fun. Yee.
Let's do it. All right, everybody. Well, subscribe so you don't miss any of that good. And until next time, we'll see you later. This has been another episode of the Single Parents Podcast. Bye.
Peace and blessings.